What would I do differently if I was starting my Teachers Pay Teachers store today, knowing the things that I know now? This is a very common theme among YouTube videos by Teachers Pay Teachers store owners, and for a good reason. People want to know what mistakes we made or what we would do differently when they're starting their store, so hopefully they can avoid some of the same mistakes. What would I do differently? Well, if you'd like to know, stick around. Hello everyone, my name is Sherry from Rolling Acres Education. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. And I'm finishing up my first year on Teachers Pay Teachers. I made several videos about that, and I have really been looking back over my last year, thinking about what I've done, what I should have done differently, what I want to do now. Things that I thought were really important maybe are not so important now. Maybe some things I thought weren't important are more important. I mean, there's just so many things that you learn in your first year. Things I didn't think were going to sell are now starting to sell. Some things I thought were going to sell didn't sell. So there's just a lot to learn in your first year, and that's the first thing you need to realize is that you're going to make mistakes. I don't care how good a plan I give you or anybody else gives you or who you follow, you're going to make mistakes, okay? It's just a part of growing. Just be willing to go on when those happen. So the very first thing I would do is to sit down and write out my whys. Why do I want to do this? And I don't mean because I want to make money. You can make money other ways. Why is it you want to make money with Teachers Pay Teachers? What specifically about this business? For me, I love creating these resources. 100% love it. I also like the fact that I can work while I have my girls around me. Now, there are so many things that this business involves that I can do when they're in the room playing or whatever. And so I like being able to work on my business while I have my granddaughters with me. And again, like I said, I just love the product creation. I love the fact that it's residual and passive. I can post something and it's making me money. We're fixing to come up on, Halloween, and those were some of my first resources I made. I made them last year. They're still there, ready to go. Of course, I've gone back and updated them, but it wasn't as much trouble as totally creating them, and it won't be as much trouble next year and the years to come. They're going to be there. I can do something new, or maybe even get to the point where I can take some time off. So those are all the things I love about Teachers Pay Teachers and why I want this to work. Yes, the income potential is great, but why? There's a lot of things out there where you can make money. Why is it this? Why is this the thing I want to do? Okay. Number 2, have a mindset shift. Tell yourself that you can do this. Tell yourself, hey, there's this woman on there. She's almost 60 years old. She has no graphic design skills, very limited tech skills, and she doesn't even create anything fancy. She just makes these little PDFs, and she's doing pretty well. So if she can do it, I can probably do it. No, if she can do it, I can do it. Okay, honestly, you can do this. You know whether or not you can do this. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, once you learn what's involved, you know whether or not you're going to be able to do this. So if it's something you want to do and you've seen what it is, you know you can do it, make up your mind, you're not going to quit. Others may quit, I may not. I do not give myself permission to quit, okay? No matter how tough it gets, you're going to keep going, okay? So those are kind of the foundation, the mindset. Now, what would I actually have done as far as the store goes? Because those first 2 things are pretty much any type of business you do. But let's talk specifically Teachers Pay Teachers. If you're like me and a lot of other people, this is how we start our stores. We heard about Teachers Pay Teachers and thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I think I'd like to try that. We go over, we open a seller's account, and we start thinking about a name, and we start talking about logo and all this stuff, and maybe branding our store and all these things that are on the storefront. And then we start to make products, and we find out maybe this is not the type of product we want to make. So I would first of all think, okay, what problems do teachers have that I can solve? They have problems with time, okay? They don't have enough time to make the things they want to make. They have problems, they have a substitute coming and it's an emergency and they haven't had time to make plans, or they have troubles with classroom management. They have trouble with parent communication. I mean, there's all kinds of things that teachers have problems with. They may even have, they have weak areas in, they may have been teaching science for years, but they still have areas that they're either not really, knowledgeable in, or maybe they just don't like. That was me. I mean, there was just some parts of science I just didn't like. I don't like rocks. Ugh. Teaching the different kinds of rocks and stuff, even though I made a subplan on that, I really didn't like that, okay? So there's just some things they're not as knowledgeable at, or they don't like as much. And so these are things that you can help teachers with. And so you need to think, what problem do I want to solve that teachers have? And then go ahead and start making products. Watch videos about how to make products, learn how to make products, and start making them. Now, here's why. Because you may think, this is exactly what I want to do. This is something I love to do, and I'm going to do this. For instance, when I first went on Teachers Pay Teachers, I thought, I'm going to make math resources. Now, I still had subplans in my mind, but I was going to make math subplans. I was going to do this because I love math. I'm nerdy. I sit down. I love to take a math book and work out math problems. I know, weird, crazy, but I do. I was very good at it. I was a level 5 math teacher. I had the second highest scores in the county, both proficiency and growth. I'm not telling you this to brag, but I'm just telling you that, I knew what I was talking about. I knew about math. My kids told me they enjoyed my math class. They felt like they were learning from me. I had parents tell me that their kids really enjoyed learning math from me. So, I had the knowledge, and I made my own resources. I knew how to make resources. But it did not take me long to figure out I did not like making math resources for other people, because when I was making them for myself, I didn't have to be real detailed. Even if, if I understood it because I created it, and if my students didn't understand it, I was there to explain it to them. So that's totally different than making them for somebody else. And I was like, you know what? I do not like this. I do not want to make math resources. So you may think that you know exactly what you're going to make, and so you make your logo and your name and all these things related to the thing you think you're going to make, and you realize you don't really like that, or maybe it's not going to sell. And here's the thing. Most people change their store names, they change their brands, they change their logos. So yeah, this happens to a lot of people. A lot of people get into it and realize that what they thought they were going to make isn't really what they ended up making after all. So if you go ahead and start making these products and you get some clarity, you have a better chance of coming up with a name you're going to stick with, and a logo you're going to stick with, and all those kinds of things. So first of all, figure out what problems teachers have that you can solve, and then figure out which one of those problems you want to solve. Not just which ones you might be good at solving, but which ones you're going to enjoy solving, because if you don't enjoy them, you're going to have to push yourself, and you're probably going to give up and quit. After that, make your products, make your freebie, okay? Make your freebie good. My freebie's not, it's okay, but it's not great. I would make it a lot better than I did. I would make it a top-notch product, because this is your advertisement, okay? People go, they download your freebie, and they think, wow, this is really great. I want to go back and see some more of their products. And what a lot of people do is they make their freebie, upload it, and then they start making other products. And so these people download this freebie, and they go back to get another product, and you don't have any products there. So I would have my freebie, and then I would create, like, at minimal 2, but probably about 4, 10, however many you want to make. But I'd say a freebie and about 4 products, and go through the process, see that you like making these, make them the best you can. Be watching videos about, how to do covers, how to format stuff, what kind of font is best for students to read, what kind of font size is best for different ages of children. Really find out how to make good, solid products. I know this is going to be a while before you start your store, but you're going to have such a stronger foundation. You're going to have to go back and correct things less. I didn't know I had to flatten my product. Well, I knew I had to flatten my products, but I thought that turning my product into a PDF flattened it. It doesn't. If you have if you have something that belongs to someone else that you're using, you have permission to use, you have to flatten your products. I knew that, but I thought that putting them in a PDF flattened them. No. There are programs that people can use to open those PDFs back up and use those resources. So you have to make sure they're flattened. Didn't know that? Had to go back and flatten my resources. So make sure that you're learning all this while you're making these products and have top-notch products. Then, you're probably going to have been thinking about names because you're going to have a while instead of like trying to force yourself to get that name. Just let it come naturally. Take your name, go ahead and open your store, buy the premium account, upload that freebie, upload those other paid products, bundle them together, and you are going to have a strong foundation on which to start your store. Unlike me, who opened my store, didn't do anything for 2 years. I uploaded a couple products and then I didn't like them, so I took them back off. I mean, just really weird stuff. I just really did my store weird. But then I took a course, learned what I was doing, and I went ahead and opened my store and started putting out products one at a time. Again, I wish I would have waited and did a bundle and just did it differently than what I did. So that's just my advice. You don't have to do that. That's what I would do differently if I was starting my store today, or if I decided for some reason to start another store. But get that why, get that mindset, get clear on what you want to create, and then name your store. Then do your logo. You don't have to do it this way. Some people may be like, that's dumb. I'm going to go ahead and do it, names and everything. But I know that there are people that are doing this because I actually watched a video from somebody the other day. And when she started her store, she already had a bunch of products ready to go, and she uploaded them right away. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And it's funny because I was trying to decide whether or not to do this video, and I thought, yes, I knew other people were doing this. So just remember, you've got this, God's got you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.